day.
Who we who doing what?
Don't try to act like some of our people ain't still doing that.
Yeah, but listen.
Because there's a
because now everybody thinks they're humans. We're not going by this conversation.
It is my belief that everybody is a human, but I believe that the original people started to migrate out of what we identify as the original land. They say Africa is the motherland that humanity emerged from. I believe that that's definitely true. But people started migrating out of Africa so many thousands upon tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of years ago. And over time, things evolve. So that's my point. I think these people are offshoots of the original human beings that emerged into different variations of that original human due to being in different climates and different parts of the world.
So what you're saying by your theory, Black people are indigenous to Africa and have been exploring the world and been going across the world and impregnating people around the world to create people that...
Not even impregnating, just going into different environments and emerging into different forms of that original person based on climate, is what I'm saying. Which is very possible.
No, because it's not possible. You're going to die. After about 100 years,
you're not going to die.
After about 100 years, you're going to die.
No, you're not.
That's a lifespan.
That's not how that works.
What do you mean? After about a lifespan, you die.
These people were mating with each other. But these people were not going to die. They continued on mating and procreating with each other, but because of different climates and things like that, they begin to... I don't want to say deteriorate. Okay, I see what you're saying. I don't want to say they deteriorated because that sounds kind of harsh, but they became, to a degree, a lesser version of themselves. And I'm not trying to sound harsh, but I believe due to those climatic changes in those different environments, your cells can change. All types of things can happen biologically.
So if you and I literally went somewhere where sunlight wasn't available to us, right? Mm-hmm. And we started to have children, and the children started to have children, and sunlight still wasn't available. All these generations later, there probably wouldn't be any melanin involved in these.
There's going to be some form of genetic alterations happening.
So now, if they come back to where sunlight is a thing, then sunlight can possibly hurt them. I get what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
That's the only way I can explain it for it to kind of make any type of logical sense.
Paula, do you see what she's saying?
I don't think it makes sense. I just think I think that they appear because how do they all come about at the same time? Like that's like.
Oh man, I'm saying they ain't a part of us. And no, I don't give a damn about the climate changing. I don't care about the sun disappearing. They ain't got none of us. They ain't got none of us in them.
He said, "Man, they came from outer space or beyond the wall."
But I believe I believe the mother of humanity is the black woman because they say the Eve gene can produce. They say if you believe the Eve gene can produce different variations of people, then you can't go against that theory.
You don't gotta believe
because that's what that theory is in alignment with. The Eve gene can create these different variations of human beings.
Yeah, you don't gotta believe nothing. You just gotta go with what facts tell you. Belief is one of the things that as humans we should really get out of our fucking vocabulary.
I mean, but a belief. So yeah, I get what you're saying because a belief is. When I say believe, I don't mean it. Technically, I mean that if you're in alignment with this particular theory or whatever information is being presented to you, if you believe that to be the truth, then it kind of aligns with what I'm saying.
I don't believe nothing. Show me.
They're saying the Eve gene can produce different.
That's a fact. They're not saying it. It's a fact. It's a real fact.
Well, that's what they presented to us, so that's what we got to go with.
It's a fact. We don't got to go with it. It's a fact.
So that is in alignment with what I'm kind of saying to a degree. I mean, that's what makes logical sense to me. Now, it could be something completely different, but just speaking logically, that would make sense to why we started to see all these different variations of that original human being, because that's what it is. It's an offshoot.
You just don't want your ancestors to be nasty. That's all.
No, because you're still not understanding what I'm saying.
I'm understanding you.
That doesn't mean our ancestors procreated with these people. These people procreated with each other, but due to different variations of climate change and all this other type of stuff, they became a different variation of those original people.
I get it, 100%.
So why you keep on coming for our ancestors?
I'm just saying, you just don't want them to be nasty. That's all. That's why you explained it like that. I get it.
No, that's what makes scientific sense.
It makes sense in your brain. Now, the caller, Palmetto, has a different opinion.
That's what scientists say. That's what scientists can logically prove. Now, everything else, I feel like is a theory.
Stop cutting the caller off.
He wasn't talking yet.
But I just want to say, like, I'm just wary of, like, because a lot of times they use science to justify some things and like that. It's like, how did these people all come about at the same time? Like, you have the light-skinned Chinese. I mean, was there? These variations in climate and all that stuff like that. Were they that like prominent all around the earth that you got these light-skinned variations of every last single race? And then, like, the light-skinned Europeans, they don't resemble, like, what you would think of as a black person. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, as far as, they do.
Do they, though?
They got 2 arms and 2 legs.
But do they?
They got 2 arms, 2 legs, and 1 head. Come on now.
Because the so-called Chatterman European that they found, he had dark skin, but he had straight hair and things like that.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's true. And then, like, we can have straight hair. We have black people around the world with long straight hair.
Y'all don't want to go with my theory, but I think not even my theory. This is what science says, so it's not a theory. They claim, they say they've proven it through scientific research that these people are that's a theory.
Science says they came from apes.
That's a theory. That's not scientifically proven anywhere. That don't even make sense.
Isn't that what Darwin said?
They claim that's evolution. That's so-called evolution. That's a theory.
Is Darwin a scientist?
Wasn't
he a scientist?
That has not been proven at all. Okay. The hell, we still got monkeys and baboons and stuff running around here. So how the hell did we evolve from that? There's still hair.
Ancestors stop fucking them. I'm sorry, it's too raw for TV. I'm just saying.
You just over there saying outrageous stuff is what you're saying. Like, just going way off the rails at this point. Like, just going way off the side of the earth. Anyway,
it's like I'm just wary of science, especially when it comes to there's certain things. And especially when it comes to just like all these light-skinned people just appearing all of a sudden, and they all come at the same time, and it's like, but when you look back, and then they all try to erase the original Black history, like all of them. They should have been like Trump.
They should have been like Trump. But our focus back in those days should have been like Trump. Once they all appeared and no reason to deport all these motherfuckers. I don't care where they came from. Send them back. They came from across the ice. Somebody get me a freezer.
White people created race. Don't ever forget that. So there was no racial construct prior to white people creating that.
If we would have got rid of them. If we would have got rid of them.
That's not how our people operate. And unfortunately, that's been our demise.
Maybe we need to learn a book.
Well, we're definitely getting back on that point where we're like, black first. We're going to take care of our people. We don't hate nobody, but, We're not going out here and jumping in front of the gun for these other groups. We're going to make sure we're straight. So we're delineating, and we're finally getting back to some form of common sense. So, I think that's going to greatly help us now that we're focusing on ourselves. But, Carla, I'm going to let you get the last word on this.
Well, I just want to say that World War III is here, and it's, we're ready, what I'm saying? Like, we're ready because black people have been through World War I, World War II, World War III. We are at war right now. So the World War has never stopped for black people. So Shelley speaks truth always.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Because Dre over here, I don't know what Dre's talking about right now, but
I'm just asking questions.
Palmetto was not on that. Palmetto say, nope, not them folks. They was created in a laboratory.
Just asking questions. I'm just trying to understand.
I'm gonna be very honest. People do question very often, where did white people come from? Like, where did they come from? Because they're so different than every other group on the planet. So people just want to know, like, where did they come from? I still stand by my thing, that due to different environmental changes and all of that, these people emerged from that, and they were an offshoot of the original human. And that's why like I said, they have mankind and human. But
before you wrap, I want to say, I think it's weird. I think it's really weird that we, as a civilization, as a world, because the whole world is watching what's going on, as a whole entire world, we watched Donald Trump get inaugurated into presidency. Within 6 months, Israel decides that they're going to start dropping bombs on Iran. Iran, as long as I've been living, I have not seen an Iranian bomb drop anywhere. That's not in some kind of retaliation to war, to being attacked. I have not seen it. If I'm wrong, please show me. But we literally watched these people minding their business, and this country said, you know what? All of a sudden, we're going to go start dropping bombs. And then the next day, they turn around and they say, oh my gosh, Iran is bombing us. And the whole world looked and said, oh my gosh, Iran is bombing Israel.
No, not the whole world. Not the whole world. The Western Hemisphere, probably. Not the other folks.
And then America says, well, the only reason that Israel started dropping bombs is because these people have been saying that they're going to kill us forever. And we got to stop them before it's either them or us. It's either them or us. And I just told you guys that we're not going to war. I don't want no war. I'm the best president ever. Peacemonger. Send 3 planes over there, bomb the shit out of them.
But what would you do in that scenario if you felt like you needed to protect your nation, though? So I don't know if I can necessarily fault him for that, even though I feel like this is all manufactured.
If they got to protect my nation against what? Where was the freaking danger? Where was the freaking plane that flew in the building?
That
like 9/11.
The word on the street and what's going on with these world Western powers is that Iran getting these weapons is a threat to them.
My point is, like you just said, the word on the street. That's my whole entire point, right? We watch the actual how these people operate, how they do what the hell they want, how they do what the hell they want to do, and they push their narrative right behind doing what. I'm going to punch you in the fucking face, and I'm going to say I'm a victim. And everybody, they better not say nothing, because if they tell me I'm the abuser, they're victim blaming.
The world, for people who just don't seem to get it, is controlled by white supremacy for right now. Now that is dying quickly. Like it's almost time for that age to be over. And shout out to Vicky Dillard again. Dang, I can't believe I forgot. I didn't forget, but I really want to be at Stone Mountain with them. I hope I still can go. But anyway, back to the point. She always refers to this as the changing of the guard. These people are not going down without a fight. They already know that the world being run by white supremacy is almost over. This is their last, Hail Mary, I guess you could say, before the party dies and their reign is over. You think people who have control of the planet are just going to go down, lying down that easily? That doesn't make sense. So we're going to see a lot of this stuff happening because all that they know that it's inevitable, but they don't want to lose their power. So they're going to keep the propaganda going, and they're going to demonize the individuals that they feel like have the capability of being the next in line to be a world superpower. I mean, that's just what it is. And unfortunately, we all here and we in this mess with them because we still live, breathe, and exist. But anyway, this could easily become a 3-hour show, but we're not going to do that. So I would like to thank everyone for tuning in. Shout out to our caller. I don't know what's going to happen. And that's my honest answer. I hope that all this stuff will just fall down by the wayside, and hopefully these nations can come to some form of agreement, although I think that's probably very unlikely to happen. I just hope for the best for our nation, of course, because I'm here. And I really do hope that sometime soon we can be able to sustain peace on earth. Because of these wars, they're just really not necessary, to be honest. And that's how I feel about it. You got any last words?
I have mine.
All right, everyone. God willing, I will be back here next week, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on 2rawfortv.tv. If you did migrate over from any of the other platforms, thank you so much for being here, and have a good night.